ESPN's The Last Dance has refueled the GOAT debate for many NBA fans across social media. Many younger fans saw for the first time how great Michael Jordan truly was, while others were simply reminded of his greatness. Even with the great stories showing MJ's resilience, motivation, and ability to will his team to win, the LeBron James is the greatest of all time peanut gallery is still convinced that the king is the GOAT. The LeBron vs. Jordan argument can have the most knowledgeable sports fans going back and forth for hours. Many credit Jordan for going 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals throughout his career, and discredit LeBron's 3 6 record in the finals. Many people consider playing in 9 NBA Finals an accomplishment on its own, therefore making LeBron greater than Jordan. After all, LeBron's final losses came against dynasties, super teams, and the 2011 Mavericks, although LeBron supporters don't seem to remember that one for some reason. Additionally, didn't it take Jordan 7 years to reach the finals, while a 22-year-old LeBron carried the Cavs in only his 4th season to the finals? It's true that the 2006-2007 Cavaliers overachieved due to LeBron's greatness, but the stature of their finals run has been greatly over-exaggerated over time. Their run was impressive, but it's extremely overrated. Here's why. For the regular season, LeBron James averaged 27 points, 6 assists, and 6.7 rebounds per game, while making his 3rd consecutive All-Star game. He led the Cavs to a 50-32 record, which was good for 2nd in the Eastern Conference behind the Detroit Pistons. LeBron's supporting cast was very weak. The 2nd leading scorer on the team was Larry Hughes, who put up around 15 a game, while Drew Gooden and Zydrunas Ilgauskas were the only other Cavaliers to average double-digit points. When it came down to game time, LeBron James absolutely carried this team. In the first round of the playoffs, the Cavaliers faced off against the 41-41 Washington Wizards, whose best player, and truly their only good player, was Antawn Jamison. Gilbert Arenas did not play in the series. Although the Cavs pulled off the sweep and were carried by LeBron, Jamison arguably outplayed James on an individual statistic level, averaging more points and rebounds a game. The sweep was impressive for a 22-year-old to pull off, but Jordan supporters might be correct in saying that Jordan could have done this at the age of 22 as well, although that was the year MJ only played 18 games due to injury. The New Jersey Nets were Cleveland's opponent in the Eastern Conference semifinals. The 6th-seeded Nets had also gone 41-41, but were a much more experienced team than the Wizards were, playoff-wise. Unfortunately for New Jersey, they were without their 2nd leading scorer and rebounder, center Nedad Kristic. This loss disrupted their offense, lessened their effectiveness on the offensive glass, and left a large hole in the paint for layups and dunks. New Jersey was able to push the series to 6 games, but ultimately, LeBron James would be too much to handle, and the Cavs would go on to face the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. Detroit would be Cleveland's toughest opponent, as the stage was set for a 1 vs. 2 showdown to go to the Finals and represent the Eastern Conference. The Pistons had much of their core together from their finals win a few years prior, as Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, and Rasheed Wallace were all still on the roster. This would lead to a great series for LeBron James. He would average 25.7 points, 8.5 assists, 9.2 rebounds, and almost 3 steals a game en route to a 4-2 series win. Additionally, James would end up shooting an efficient 45% from the field and 36% from 3. In Game 5 of this series, LeBron James would put up one of his most famous playoff performances in his career at the age of 22. In double overtime, the Cavs were able to pull out the win 109-107. LeBron finished the game with 48 points, but more impressively, he had all of Cleveland's final 25 points. This game would go down as one of LeBron's greatest playoff performances of his career. On the other side of the playoff bracket, the San Antonio Spurs had conquered the Western Conference once again and would face Cleveland in LeBron's finals debut. LeBron supporters would be correct in saying that the Cavs were overmatched by the Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili-led Spurs, but this doesn't excuse the fact that Cleveland was swept. LeBron and the Cavs didn't win a single game against the Spurs, and LeBron was partially to blame. James shot 36% from the field and 20% from 3 in the 4-game series. In Game 1, LeBron struggled, putting up just 14 points in a 76-85 loss on the road. The next game, LeBron played better, but the Cavs were -5 with him on the floor. They lost 92-103, and that was after they outscored San Antonio 30-14 in the fourth quarter. In Game 3, the Spurs were in control for most of the time, but the score came within 2 points in the fourth quarter. With 1.9 seconds left in the game, down 3, LeBron missed a potentially game-tying shot, and the Cavs lost 75-72. The final game of the series was even tighter than the previous one, as with 4.9 seconds left, LeBron cut the deficit to 2 points after a made 3, but Manu Ginobili would end up icing the game with 2 free throws.
And that makes it a 2-possession game. Played in so many pressure games throughout his career in Europe, Olympics, and the NBA. And hits both.
And the Spurs would win Game 4 83-82. LeBron's ability to carry the 2006-2007 Cavaliers to the finals at the age of 22 was a very impressive feat, but it has been getting too much credit. When comparing him to the average player, it was a great run. But LeBron supporters need to know what they're talking about when they bring this up in the GOAT debate. Bringing a team to the finals as the only All-Star on the team is impressive, but LeBron only had to beat 2 500 teams along the way, and he didn't win a single game in the finals. If a 22-year-old healthy Michael Jordan were in his shoes, it's hard to say what could have happened, but MJ seemed to have a way to will his teams to win games, even at a young age, and it's clear that LeBron did not have that trait in 2007.
Great job, man. Good job. Hey, man, I love how you're on 15 minutes. Stay that way, man. Yeah, stay that way. We're going to drive these guys, and this is going to be your league in a little while. But I appreciate you giving us this year.